Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of The Bridge.
What's up? I'm Adam from Chamblee.
And I'm Hannah from Lakeside. On today's episode of The Bridge, we'll be discussing something that affects us all: Black, Caucasian, Asian, Latino, or whichever the preference is. Is Black Lives Matter racist or pro-Black?
One thing you can all ask yourselves is this: shouldn't all lives matter be the prominent slogan? Or should we only focus on the lives that have been greatly affected in the past 10 years?
Great question. Hopefully the pit crew and our special guest will help us decide. Maybe an intriguing conversation and interesting subtopics will spark our today's kickback.
Hopefully, right? Join us later for an interesting episode filled with funnies, take flights, what's the move, and much more. Catch you later.
Up next, we have a familiar face.
Performing Cruising.
Please welcome to the stage, LIL Swagg.
It's Swagg.
Play this record as frequently as possible.
Yeah, we cruise. Yeah, I'm cruising down the street and I'm feeling real good. The sunset amazing, let me take you out of hood. Now I got you in a passenger seat. Never traded, always stay down with me. Yeah, we cruise. Yeah, we cruising. Yeah, we cruise. Yeah, we cruising. Yeah, we cruise. Yeah, we cruising. Catch us on Boulevard, catch us in Buckhead. My down chick, yeah, she rock me and I rock with her. She hold me down like no other. Since day one, my lover, and for that I trust. Yeah, I'm cruising down the street and I'm feeling real good. The sunset amazing, let me take you out the hood. Now I got you in a passenger seat. Never traded, always stay down with me. Yeah, you know, son, you are my baby. Just know what's up, my number one lady. Never laid off, no, you never faded. Turning up, yeah, you know, going crazy. Rocking so hard, I know they hate it. Spend a couple rats, don't care to cake. Girl, be mine, ain't no more waiting. They not, yeah, you know, gon' skate. Yeah, I love you, I hope you do. She told me, of course. Don't play me, I ain't a fool. Don't worry, baby, I got you. I'm counting blessings, we ain't never stressing. All night, you know we're texting. FaceTime or D-connection. I love you, and that's for the fans. Yeah, we cruise. Yeah, we cruising. Yeah, we cruise. Yeah, we cruising. Yeah, we cruise. Yeah, we cruising. Catch us on Boulevard. Catch us in Buckhead. Yeah, we cruise. Yeah, we cruising. Yeah, we cruise. Yeah, we cruising. Yeah, we
Play this record as frequently
Yeah, we
as possible.
cruising. Catch us on Boulevard. Catch us in Buckhead.
Yes, LIL Swagg. Yeah, another wonderful performance. So, what have you been up to lately?
Lately, you know, back in school, getting my good grades.
Yes.
I just dropped another single called Dumb Out on my SoundCloud, and, you know, just staying productive and making moves.
Okay, and for those who are interested in you, how can they reach you? Like, what are your social medias?
My Instagram is _LIL Swagg. My Twitter is LIL Swagg 3. My Facebook is the LIL Swagg, and you can go check out all my music on my SoundCloud at the LIL Swagg.
Thank you for that great performance.
Thank you.
Hey, I've been wanting to ask this for a long time, but how do you get your hair like that?
Oh, I washed it and pick it out.
No, I mean, how do you get into afro? It's so tangly and stuff.
That is how I get into an afro, and it's not tangly, it's curly.
It's so fluffy like cotton candy. Wait, hey, why don't you sweat and you look so much better?
And versus the heat damage? No. You would look better with tanner skin.
That's not so nice.
Well, you just told me I would look better without my natural hair, so.
Well, you know, it goes that way. It doesn't mean you have to wear it that way, you know?
What bye?
Wait, can I touch it?
No.
Where'd you get that from?
I carry it around just in case.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to one of the best segments on The Bridge with your hosts, Micah and
Latricia.
Today, we're going to be talking about the good and bad of race relations in the Haitian-Dominican front and in India. But before we start, something should be said. Never judge a book by its cover, and don't let the experiences that you had with one person make you judge the whole race as the same people. The world can be a much better place if you follow these simple rules of just love everyone. And enough talking. Let's get on with the facts.
Racial tension between Haiti and the Dominican Republic go back to the disputes that France and Spain had over the island since its split in 1697.
Well, when Saint Domingo, the Dominican Republic, gained its independence from Spain in 1821, Saint Domingue, Haiti, invaded the Republic and put them under military occupation for more than 20 years. It was during this time of occupation and after the Dominican War of Independence that Haitian and Dominican relationships worsened.
In 1937, the president of the Dominican Republic, Rafael Trujillo, systematically killed thousands of ethnic Haitians. If you want to know more about this, you should watch the movie In the Time of the Butterflies or read the book.
A more recent event, tensions have risen after the January 2010 earthquake and thousands of Haitians fled across the border. The Dominican government provided aid to the migrants as a temporary solution, but as months turned into years, some Dominican people began to feel that the refugees would reduce the prosperity of the country.
For the development of the Virat Ramayan Mandir, a Hindu temple that is currently under construction and supposed to rival the size of Angkor Wat, had several Muslims donate land and money to its development to prevent delays.
Well, during a Hindu wedding in 2013, Muslim attendees volunteered to escort a Hindu Barat through a region in India that was suffering from Hindu-Muslim race riots.
India has had a long history of tensions between Northeasterners because in the past some people believe that the Northerners were just foreign immigrants from Japan, Nepal, and China. Ideas like that have since faded away, but some sentiments still remain.
Well, Indian and Pakistan relations have been strained since their independence from the British in 1947.
Many animosities between the two stem from trying to gain the most value out of the resources and territories the British left in the region.
Fighting in regions like Kashmir and northern India forced the creation of a western and eastern Pakistan, which is now known as Pakistan and Bangladesh.
Well, that's all the time we have on Take Flight, so we hope to see you guys soon on the next episode of The Bridge.
Hi, welcome to our kickback.
Introducing a special guest, Rhonda Roche Penrice. So today's kickback is on whether Black Lives Matter is racist or pro-black. But first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, as you know, my name is Rhonda Rashay Penrice. I am a writer as well as a historian. I'm the author of African American History for Dummies. And I'm originally from Chicago. I'm so happy to be here in Atlanta with you guys.
Woo. So, anyone have any thoughts about this?
Well, I think at first, when it first started, Black Lives Matter was an organization of empowerment and strength within the African American community. Now, looking at what they stand for, how they seem to push their agenda, it's become an embarrassment to me. It seems like they're doing nothing but divide our nation in such a volatile time rather than build us up and help us come together.
Now, why do you say that?
I mean, I say that with my own experiences, seeing on TV, it's become more of an excuse. Like I was watching the news, this African American woman drank 5 beers. She was involved in a hit and run. She could have killed 3 people, and she assaulted a police officer. But when she gets arrested, Black Lives Matter wants to handle that and start these idiotic protests based on something that is so.
Well, you also understand that, like with Black Lives Matter, what's happened recently is you have a lot of people who are claiming to be Black Lives Matter that are not officially affiliated. So you also have to, determine what's coming officially from the organization and what's coming from rogue people.
Right, but it's just like we're already in a, nation of sadness with Trump. We're in a nation where gays, whites, blacks, Indian, we're supposed to be separated. We feel so much, I don't want to say hatred, but a sense of uncomfortableness with each other, intensity. We don't need an organization like this just further separating us. Not at that moment. Even though I disagree with the protests, even though I disagree with the mistreatment of African Americans with police in the community, I feel that something has to be done to help build us together instead of keeping on tearing us apart.
Well, I think it connects us. It unites the nation.
I doubt that.
People who, like you said, who aren't affiliated necessarily with Black Lives Matter are coming together and supporting.
They're also building up hate crimes.
No, but okay.
In a sense.
So when Black Lives Matter was standing up for the unarmed black men who were getting shot for no reason, All Lives Matter came out and was like, all lives matter, right? But we're not saying, just because we say that Black Lives Matter we're not saying that all lives don't matter. We're just saying that right now, at this very moment, Black lives, nobody seems to care about them because they're so easily killed and then forgot about most of the time. So they need somebody to stand up and point out what they're doing wrong. And if All Lives Matter was actually an organization to actually do something, they would be protesting Trump's ban on the travel ban, but they're not doing anything. They were just existed for that short amount of time to tell the Black Lives Matter people to shut up.
I just don't get why we're even protesting though. I mean, we've been through it before. We've been through it in the 1950s, the 1900s, since the beginning of time. No matter how much anybody protests in the streets, whether it be race, whether it be over Trump, nothing is going to change. Absolutely nothing.
Changed the United States.
I know, but look, for example, take when Trump got elected. They're burning buildings, they're in the streets. He's still going to be our president for the next 4 years.
But we can't just sit and let nothing happen.
The real way to deal with certain things like this is to work on yourself. As black people and white people and Indian or Asian or whatever kind of person you are, is to work on yourself. Because any movement, people like to grab onto movements. I understand what you're saying. It's not, the Black Lives Matter movement isn't a racist movement. It's not like something to separate blacks from the rest of the world. That's not what it's for. It may have turned or it may come off like that, but at least that's not what they want it for. That's not what the people that started the organization so it makes sense that they will want to say something about that.
All right.
Black Lives Matter is to make the statement all lives matter true. Because that statement is very much so all lives matter, but all lives won't matter until Black Lives Matter.
And also, when you talk about protest is only one phase of something. Even when you talk about the 1950s and 1960s, you have to understand that whereas you saw Dr. King and various other people in the streets and so forth, that also was backed up by legislation that was being passed. A lot of times, these things are to bring awareness to issues to our lawmakers. And it's very important that, you know, we as citizens of this nation understand that, you know, the political process is very, very complex, and it's not just one thing. And one of the things that you said in regards to, you know, feeling that Black Lives Matter was not bringing us together, well, the protests, as you see the protests in New York, San Francisco, here in Atlanta, as well as in Chicago and other places, what you've seen is you've seen all kinds of people, you know, be they gay, straight, white, black, Latino, whatever, come together, because if you can shoot down an unarmed person, regardless of what race, and a police officer who is trained to diffuse situations cannot even serve a day, not even just go to jail, but to go through due process and to determine if this was actually necessary. And so far, that's been done by private boards and not by citizens. I mean, we are entitled to transparency.
People love to bring, like, people against Black Lives Matter love to bring on black crimes, like black on black crime rates, saying that more black people kill black people than white people, or white cops kill black people, which is true, but you never hear anything about white on white crime. Okay, I'm pretty sure that more white people kill white people than black people kill white people.
Yeah, I never said they did.
No, not you, just like people against Black Lives.
And the point isn't to like equate or like figure out who's doing the most wrong on this side of the races. It's more to like realize for everybody, for themselves, that we are all people and we all deserve like a certain amount of respect and amount of love, that you wouldn't go and kill your brother. So you wouldn't go kill some random person because you don't know exactly what their life's like. You have to realize that everybody's life is just as intricate, and they have like different, they have very powerful minds just like you do. So you have to realize like they will feel just like you do. So you take that into account when you make decisions. So when these cops, these white cops, or any kind of cop is making a decision to kill somebody, and it's a black man, and this happens so frequently and frequently enough that people notice. If it's frequent enough that I notice it, then that's a problem. Like it shouldn't be at a noticeable rate. If it's like not that serious, then it shouldn't be noticeable. People shouldn't have a problem with it if it's normal.
And I think Black Lives Matter is about black people, but it also is more about unity, because yes, it's Black Lives Matter, but it's so that we all can come together, because that's all anyone who's truly in the movement wants. It's not about black supremacy. It's about everyone being able to live together, coherently, and being able to love on each other regardless of race, sex, age, and that's more what it's about. But when you exclude one group, it's like, well, you're ruining the entire ideal.
And I like it as a whole because it gives people a chance to say something and do something, because if everybody just sat back and did nothing, it would be irrelevant. But now that everyone's trying to get together and make a difference and make a change for the better, because they see the problem and they say something, that shows that people care, and a change will eventually happen. I mean, it's not going to be right away or when we want it, but because people said something, they can never say, oh, well, you didn't say anything, so I guess it wasn't a problem. It's like, okay, people did this and people did that, so it's up to us to fix it, whoever's in power and can change it.
So it's always good to have like an objective view. So this, it's not necessarily about coming politically correct, it's about coming correct in general, so that we know that we're respecting everybody. It's not about trying to, lightly tap on everything. It's for a reason. But I mean, the Black Lives Matter movement itself, it's very misconstrued lately, because a lot of people will go around like, yeah, Black Lives Matter, man, bump all these white people. Like, no, it's not for that. Right. It's not for us to tell each other we don't like these people because they're doing that to us. Right. It's to tell them you need to recognize what you're doing because it's hurting me. That's the point. True. It's the point to let them, so that they can realize, because we know how much it's hurting us. We need them to realize. It's not to push them away or tell them no, you need to get away from me. I hate you now because you did this to me. It's like, I love you. So why don't you love me enough to tell me I'm sorry, respect me enough that you won't kill my friends and my family because I'm a different color than you. That's what it's about. And that's what it should be about.
Yeah. And Patrice McCullers, who's one of the co-founders of Black Lives Matter, she said that You know, Black Lives Matter is about human rights. She sees that for the 1950s, 1960s, people were fighting in this country for civil rights. And, you know, everyone has the right to life, liberty, you know, and so forth. And when you're talking about police officers in particular, we're talking about people who are trained to protect and serve. So therefore, a police officer is held to a higher standard than an average citizen, because the assumption should be that you are here to protect and serve us, not to harm us. And unfortunately, in this country, when it comes to law enforcement, and particularly with the Black community, that has not been the case. So what we are seeing now in the 21st century, we're seeing situations that are making the news. Whereas when you talk about the 1930s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, these types of incidents didn't even make the news whatsoever.
Yeah. And the truth is, it really is frustrating. Honestly, for somebody to go and kill your family and they don't get tried like as a person, but your family member gets killed like a person, but you can't be tried as an adult and like to take responsibility for your actions, it can make somebody upset.
I get you.
Yeah, I'm not coming at you, I'm just saying.
I get you, man.
It can make somebody upset.
If somebody in your family never was personally killed by a police officer based off their skin color, they're going to be like, oh, it doesn't matter, it really doesn't happen that much. But then once it happens to their family, they're actually going to start thinking about it, and it's going to hit them like, oh, this is the way that they see us. It's not just, oh, he was doing this or he was doing that.
That's true. On that note, we've run out of time, and so we're going to have to say goodbye for now, and we'll see you on the next Kickback.
Nothing is on fire. Fire is on things.
Now, youngins, a day last week, my grandson decided to ask me to send him an email. Now, I personally thought, oh, if all the youngins are doing it, I guess I better try as well. But let me tell you what, it is most supremely frustrating. For I went on the keyboard, and now, as one sane individual would, the keys are not laid out A, B, C. No, it starts on Q. What kind of individual starts a keyboard on Q? And then to top it off, I went to send the mail. I tried to put the postage on it, but I could not figure out where they wanted the postage for this email. And then when I tried to send it, it just went, and then I had to write it all over again. But well, he was able to send it to me, and that is all I can ask.
Hey guys, and welcome to part 2 of the Pictionary Championship. How are you guys doing? Yes, these teams are ready to go. So let's get started with Team 1. All right. Oh, Lord.
A person.
Flower. Baby.
Earrings.
Yeah. Perfect.
That was
Team 2.
All right, Adam!
Woo!
Destroy them. Come on. Come on.
TV.
All right, TV.
A
box.
A cord.
Window.
Window.
It's okay, we got this.
All right, yeah!
Oh, see, y'all want to get high.
Yeah, we got this.
I see.
I'm scared of your teammates. Face, body,
Human,
person,
head,
eyes.
smiling face. What of those do that? Smile.
Hey, you're taking up our time here. Math teacher. Math teacher. Math teacher Daniel.
Math quiz.
Math lesson.
Mathematics.
Math algebra test. Geometry. Trigonometry. Math teacher. Math professor. Math student.
English.
A correct student. A teacher's pet. Teacher's pet. Teacher.
Check. Teacher check. Teacher math. Teacher.
Teacher correction. Tutor. Teacher.
Oh, teacher. That's correct.
Teacher.
It was just she has the father first. I honestly believe it.
A human.
A person.
A person.
Smiling.
Move her a little
bit. A smiley face.
All right. Angry.
Proud. How was that angry?
A doctor. A nurse. A surgeon.
Eyes.
Surgeon.
Eyes.
Ski mask. Skier. Ski trip.
I can't see. Eyes.
Robber. Convict.
What? Eyebrows.
A family on a ski trip.
Oh my God.
A ski.
Are you sure about eyebrows?
I don't know what that means. Sleeping. Sleep. Snowboarding.
Oh,
Keep going. Give me something more than a face.
4 seconds. Wow, it looks like that's all the time we have. Team 1 has 4 points again, and Team 2 has 5 points again. So Team 2 is in the lead.
Back again with another hit.
Performing Dumb Out.
Please welcome to the stage, LIL Swagg.
I be on that dumb out, play with me, I dumb out. My boys all dumb out, play with them, they dumb out. Yes sir, we dumb out. My team, we just dumb out. The one wasn't born, no, they what you call a dumb out. I be on that dumb out, play with me, I dumb out. My boys all dumb out, play with them, they dumb out. Yes sir, we dumb out. My team, we just dumb out. The one wasn't born, no, they what you call a dumb out. We dumb out, I wanna see you dumb out. I get so fly from head to toe, yeah, it's a dumb out. I turn up, I dumb out. I show up, I dumb out. In school, then go to school, yeah, it's a dumb out. Dumb out, dumb out, dumb out. Dumb out, dumb out, dumb out. Dumb out, dumb out, dumb out. Sweat! Dumb out, dumb out, dumb out. Dumb out, dumb out. Dumb out, dumb out, dumb out. Dumb out, dumb out. Dumb out, dumb out, dumb out. Man, LIL Swagg, yeah, that is my name. Man, it's time to go ahead and make a change. Stick to it, gotta do it, yeah, that my thing. Man, me up, put me on to the rap game. He told me, boy, you always gotta keep it fresh. So I dress to impress and I never stress. That's how I got this double L all on my chest. Man, everything I do, you know it's at my best. I be on that dumb out, play with me, I dumb out. My boys all dumb out, play with them, they dumb out. Yes sir, we dumb out. My team, we just dumb out. The one wasn't born, no, that what you call a dumb out.